What's good? What's good? Welcome to Third Coast Sports TV. I'm your host, Wink. All sports, love sports, enjoy sports. Today we're going to be discussing the ass whooping of the, the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm still cranked up. Trill, my boy up in here, man. Let's go. I had to go ahead and put Carlos Hyde in the thumbnail today, man. He deserved it. He deserved it. He deserved it. I'm waiting for a few of y'all to go ahead and come on in here. If y'all, oh yeah, oh man, yeah, this whole cool. It ain't even a hoodie, it's a shirt. Hey, D Rich, man, let everybody know on Twitter and let them know on in that little chat that we got on IG. Let them know I'm streaming live for them to get on up in here, man. John Fox is shocked. Chiefs lost to the Texans. Everybody's shocked. Dominic Hampton, what's good? D Rich, what's good? JXO, what's good? Tevin Dempsey, Mr. Killer KB, Bad and Bougie, what's good? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, everybody was saying Watson wasn't equipped. Watson wasn't made of the same stuff. Arturo Beckett, what's good? Everybody, B Shell, what's good? Great win today. Y'all share this on all y'all social media platforms. Let everybody know that I'm going live right now. I want as many people to be here as long as I can. Yeah, play calling and scheme, the way that they call the game, with the exception of a couple of plays from O'Brien, I ain't really had no issues, man. The defense was giving up plays, man. They were being exploited early on like motions and things like that, little pick routes and things. But they ended up cleaning it up. Did I hear you call? Nah, bro. I was on the phone with wifey. I'm gonna go back and go listen to it once it's all over, because I already posted my reaction early on in the video. I just posted that on Twitter. I'm trying to go viral, bro. I'm trying to get my following up, and that's gonna take and that right there is gonna take me places. Yeah. Appreciate that, D Rich. Everybody, y'all go ahead and shout that out, man. Follow behind D Rich if y'all got Twitter, if y'all got Instagram, if y'all got followers who, or y'all let people know who love the Texans. Tell them I'm streaming right now, man. I want to get as many people in here to celebrate in this win, man, because, hey, it's going down. If Dan Quinn gets challenged, y'all snatching them up, okay. Everything's good, man. Rigo, what's good? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button. It ain't no reason to not smash the like button, especially after the performance we seen from Deshaun Watson, the defense in the second half, and the way that this man Carlos Hyde, he ripping that 23 real hard. That's how Arian Foster would tote that rock. You know what I'm saying? The boy was putting his foot in the ground, hitting them holes, running dudes over, making it shake. Cool Amber was good. You know, Mahomes had a decent game. Man. I can't really take too much from him outside of we took the ball from his ass. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't nothing they could do about that. You know, and that needed to be the game plan going in. Once you see the Indianapolis Colts and exploit you, you know, last week, it's kind of hard not to follow that recipe. And now we're giving the blueprint on how you can beat Patrick Mahomes and pretty much teams who have a stronger secondary than the one that we have can do way more. You know, it's crazy the fact that the Colts and the Houston Texans, who have some of the weaker secondaries in the division, were able to handle the Chiefs versus a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars. I really thought that game would have been a hell of a lot closer than it was, but it was a complete blowout. A major reason was for that. They couldn't get their run game off. They lost Foles early on, I think, on like the first drive, even though Minshew came in and he put in work. But, you know, it wasn't enough. They couldn't stop a lick when they played. Cowboys about to lose to the Jets, man. I seen that, bro. These boys getting stomped out, bro. You losing 3 straight games in a row. What excuses does Skip gonna have when they come on Undisputed tomorrow? And everybody better put respect on Deshaun Watson's name. Yeah, I know he threw 2 picks, and the second one was egregious. And, you know, but Bill O'Brien kind of put him in the situation like, I don't even understand on that 4th play. Why wouldn't you just throw like a little slant or something like that? You have been using slants and little pick routes, little curls, little out routes early on in the game. So why wouldn't you do the exact same thing in that situation versus putting the ball downfield? You know, he was a little bit over aggressive. I appreciate his aggressiveness, but he was a little over aggressive in that situation. This team gives me a lot of confidence, but Andy Reid is not Bill Belichick, so we're going to have to temper our expectations right now. We're going to have to go on this on a week-by-week basis. If Bill O'Brien can continue to look like this, by the time it's time to play the New England Patriots, that game's going to look completely different. As far as it stands right now, I'm expecting the New England Patriots to win out and be the number one overall, the number one seed, and I expect this to be the number 2 seed. There's nobody else in the AFC that I'm worried about, with the exception of the Indianapolis Colts, because they're still in our division. The Titans, I was never worried about them. I'm no longer worried about the Jaguars because they have entirely too many issues. We've already beat them anyway. And, it's nobody in the AFC West that I'm worried about. And that's what we have to play. And if we already beat the 2 best teams, I see no reason why when we go to Denver, when we play Oakland, we're not going to smash them as well. DeMarcus, what's good? Yeah, Rat called a hell of a game plan in the second half, only giving up 40. I want to say it was either 41 or 61 yards that he gave up to Mahomes in the second half. And the fact that we had the ball for over, 37, 38 minutes of the game, that just goes to show you that if we scheme it right and if we call these games the way that we supposed to do it. Shout out to Bryson. I see you, big dog. I see you, man. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate all that love, man. But when you see things like this going on, it's no reason that this team should not be winning like this on a week-in, week-out basis. This game, we could have, with an extra 15 points, without all of the, if you count everything that Fairbairn missed on top of, a couple of plays that DeAndre Hopkins, and you count those plays that Deshaun Watson threw interceptions, we left a lot of points on the board. We left a whole lot of points on the board, and this game could have got way uglier than it was. And and if we would have mauled, this was already a statement game to win a touchdown, and they couldn't even cover the spread. They couldn't do anything. So if you bet on the Chiefs, you bet, all right, you lost your money. And you deserve to lose your money with the way that the Houston Texans played. So when you hear these pundits, when you go to these other channels, and when you hear people talk about the Houston Texans, they have to take us seriously now. They were taking the Colts serious when they beat them. So now, and we have better quarterback play, we have better weapons than the Indianapolis Colts, and I can't wait to face them next week, because if we beat the Indianapolis Colts and we win 3 games straight going in, I see us, because the next couple of games we're gonna have after the Colts are gonna be easy games. We're gonna play Oakland. I think we're gonna play the Jags again. And then I think week 10 we go on the bye week, and then we come off the bye week to play New England. So we're going to end up having some extra time, and depending on what they choose to do with their off time, the New England game, it's no telling how that game can turn out. Because if we beat New England, we going places. And I think that's the way I'm really going to be able to judge our season. It was a great win to win against the Kansas City Chiefs, but winning against the New England Patriots, when that time comes, is going to be even more. Sorry about that. Sim Hardaway, what's good? Your boy Anthony, what's good? Dante Horn, what's good? I'm going to that Colts game. All right, cool. Yeah, man, we had Ashmel. We had Ashmel Trejo in the building, for the Chiefs. I know he was letting them have it in the stand. Shout out to Ashmel for being at that game. I know he ripped hard for the Houston Texans. And only good thing to hear that Howard didn't suffer an ACL tear. I don't know how. I haven't looked at anything. I haven't looked at any interviews. I haven't looked at anything. I was on a phone call with my wife, throughout that entire time. When I got off with Honcho on South Sports, and if y'all not subscribed to South Sports, y'all don't know about South Sports. It's a Houston Texans network. Y'all make sure y'all go there, subscribe to his channel, as well as everybody else in the round table. We putting out major content, and man, it's just great to see that Mahomes couldn't get off the way that he really wanted to. Let's talk about the game though. Early, it got ugly early. It got ugly real early. I wasn't really. Yeah, I hope Spence gets well too. Yeah, I hope that too. Yeah, the game got ugly. It got out of hand, in the first quarter. And I was just thinking, until I saw Deshaun Watson get on the field after that Carlos Hyde fumble, I just couldn't believe the fact that we put ourselves in a situation that early. Because I feel like that's 3 points off of the board for the Kansas City Chiefs, if they don't get that fumble. Because the offense throughout the entire game was clicking. Like, we were clicking on all cylinders. They got it done today. And be for real, what's good? I see you, Roger. Yeah, it got out the gate. It got out real early. They got a couple of runs on us, with Shady and Williams, I believe his name was. And it was a couple of times, I thought, damn, they going to be able to tear us up with the run too. And I was like, but, once they got away from it and they got away from that run, I felt like if they would have ran the ball at least another 15, 16 times and they'd have ran effectively, they very well could have won this game had they Andy Reid not been so lenient on. If he wouldn't have leaned on Mahomes the way that he did throughout the entire game and let the other guys on the team flourish, then this game more than likely could have went another way. But I think the way that we bounced back and Deshaun Watson taking over and just dumping the ball off, doing everything that he needed to do, he was protected. The O-line, man, bravo to them, man. It's 2 games straight in a row. I know he didn't throw 5 touchdowns. He very damn well could have if these guys would have caught the ball. So I don't think anybody's going to fault him for that because he didn't overthrow anybody. He put the ball right on the money, throughout the entire game, outside of the couple of interceptions that he threw. So shout out to Deshaun Watson. A definite shout out needs to go to Carlos Hyde, man. This dude was cutting. This guy was being patient. He was reading and reacting. The man was running dudes over. Man, he was a sight to watch today. Him and Duke Johnson. When Duke Johnson was able to come in the game, he was able to make a lot of plays in the passing and in the running game. He was carving them up for a lot of yards. And I think it's a little bit too early, to be talking about Super Bowl contenders. But we do have to be considered to be one of the better teams in the AFC, definitely. I think we have to be over the Chiefs no matter what. We beat the Chiefs. Not only did we beat the Chiefs, we beat the Chiefs at home. We beat the Chiefs without J-Joe, without Steels, without Roby in the last quarter and a half. We beat them, and Roger Johnson came in and was doing a phenomenal job in place of Titus Howard. When Titus Howard went down, I wasn't worried at all because I knew Roger Johnson was going to be able to come right in and pick up where Titus Howard went off, where he left off. So I wasn't worried about that whatsoever. I know a few people ended up getting kind of worried about that, but I was like, bro, did y'all not see Roger Johnson? Roger Johnson is better than Titus Howard anyway. Even with how Titus Howard has played over the last couple of weeks, Titus Howard is not better than Roger Johnson, in my opinion. Yeah, Watson is special. Yeah. And Andy Reid is a perpetual choke artist, but it's generally in the playoffs, and not really during the regular season. So I disagree with your statement just a little bit, Broderick, but I do know where you're coming from. And to be honest, he didn't choke the game away. We took it from him. He didn't choke away anything that we didn't give him. To choke the game away would have mean they had the ball in their grasp and they had to make plays in order to make sure that they took over to win. That's a totally different situation. We straight up punked them in their own house. We ran through them. We ran it down their throats. Deshaun Watson did what he was supposed to do. So choking is a little bit of a stretch when you make that statement. I don't believe they choked at all. This wasn't a choke job at all. The defense just couldn't stop our run game. And they need to definitely put some respect on the run game this week when they talk about this game, because this was definitely the game of the week. Anybody who disagrees that this wasn't the game of the week is an absolute joke. I understand that the Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles had a hell of a game, but that game doesn't come close to the way that both of these quarterbacks played today at 1 o'clock. Demaryius Thomas sealed the Dallas game. Oh, he did? Oh, I forgot he plays for them. He did? Oh, the Cowboys just lost? That's crazy. Damn, Mr. Smith, Ryan Griffin, and DT went ham on them. Oh, okay. They all play for them? That's crazy. And names of yeah. Yeah, you damn right, Danny. You damn right. HTX Pac 22, what's good? I wish we would get more love, but we definitely gonna get some love. We have to get love. One people I know we definitely gonna get love and credit for. Stephen A finna give us some credit because he was singing our praises on Friday anyway. You know, he was talking about Deshaun Watson. He was like, bro, what do y'all think Deshaun Watson is? Chopped liver? He gonna give us some credit. Colin Cowherd definitely finna give us some credit. Jason Whitlock finna give us some credit. Jason Whitlock is from Kansas City and is a Chiefs fan, but he says it's something about Watson, bro. I think when it comes to them, he said almost uttered exactly what Spitz said when we first drafted him and they drafted Mahomes. That, yeah, Mahomes will probably have all the records, but Deshaun Watson gonna have all the championships. And you know, it's looking kind of crazy right now. I mean, Deshaun Watson had 3 touchdowns, 2 of them were on the ground. You know, the way he planted his foot, you know, no, he wasn't the only one who said we was gonna win. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Who else said it? Skip Bayless said we was gonna win. He wasn't the only one. No, it was quite a few people that called the upset. If you go back and you go look at a lot of the videos, it's a lot of videos. It's a lot of YouTube content creators that call the upset. So just to say that Skip Bayless was riding for us. I mean, so I'm gonna give Skip. I mean, he gonna have a bunch of excuses tomorrow, but he shouldn't have nothing to say tomorrow because his team just got smashed by the Jets. They're like one of the worst teams, the second to worst teams on the thing. But on his show, Jason Whitlock definitely caped for us. He most certainly did. Mahomes, man, he got hurt early. And it was just like he kind of wasn't the same after that. He was still able to flick the wrist. He was still able to get the ball down the field and make some plays. So it's not like what. And I'm glad Tyreek Hill was here. I'm so glad of that. Not only did we hold him under 100 yards, he got 2 touchdowns. I understand that's a negative effect for the secondary. But y'all realize we're the first team all season. I want to say we're the first team all season to hold Mahomes under 300 yards. I think in every other game, he's had well over 300 yards, and this is the only team with a poor secondary that was ranked 25th in the league, and we held the best passer in the game statistically to 280 yards. Come on, man. Come on, man. He threw 300. He threw over like 312, 315 yards against the Colts last week. So this game right here, man, it's a great matchup, and it's gonna definitely have some tape. But there were a lot of issues in this game too. Way too many penalties. It was too many penalties on the Chiefs side. It was too many penalties on our side. There were a lot of breakdowns in the secondary that we're gonna have to clean up, and we're gonna have to fix it real soon because we are getting ready to play T.Y. Hilton, Marlon Mack, Jacoby Brissett and a couple guys, and this game right here, man, is going to determine a whole lot, especially if we end up going on a run against the Ravens, the Jags, and the Raiders in the next coming weeks. Diesel Mufasa, what's good? Rodney Lewis was good, and I hate how the meme was blatantly I mean, that's what they do, bro. You got to understand, as a Houston fan, you have to understand it's not Watson that they're really talking down on. It's the fact that this team hasn't been consistent. Keith Williams was good. I had Gaines look better than I thought he was gonna look. He was getting ate up though. Tyrann regretting his decision going to the Chiefs. Why? They still winning. They still 4-2. Why would he regret that? I mean, he went to a lesser defense. If you saying from that aspect, I could agree. But if you saying like he went to a lesser team, a lesser coach team, I disagree with that. Me and Visionary were just talking, and he was bringing it, and he brought up Tyrann Mathieu, and I was like, bro, I'm not even talking about Tyrann Mathieu. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm pretty sure he was mad. I think he said he didn't shake hands or something like that at the end of the game. I didn't see that. I was watching the stream, and it ended up cutting off as soon as it went off. So I wasn't even really worried about it. But I'm becoming a fan of Charles Omenihu. I thought he would be in Bob Doghouse. Man, he wasn't playing well earlier on, but now he's starting to play a hell of a lot better. And that strip sack he got, changed the game. Outside of the interception that Tayshaun Gibson had got, which was great to see. So those were some great plays. DJ Reader played a great game. Cunningham and McKinney played absolutely great. Um, Mariochi, what's good? I already gave Bill O'Brien's credit. I already gave him his credit. I gave him his credit early on in the video. You must have got in late. Yeah, I gave Bill O'Brien his credit. Darren Fells, Jordan Akins, they did a great job, man. They did a great job. Romeo Cannell, can't say enough about what he did in the second half of the game. In the first half, he just looked like he needed to get fired. JT Pryor, what's good? I would still be mad to be playing in a city like Kansas City. Roderick Johnson held the fort. He's supposed to really be the starter, Daddy. I mean, I preferred him over Titus Howard anyway. So when he came in, when Titus Howard went down, I wasn't worried at all. I wasn't worried at all. Roger Johnson has shown and proven, that he can come on this line and do some things. And I know a lot of people are going to sit here and say, oh, well, can you really trust this guy? Trust me, we can trust him. I told you was in your live. Charles inside was the way to go. Yeah. Yeah, man. Charles, he needed to play in the inside. He needed to play. I even seen Carlos Watkins getting some time out there. I was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? They trying to make sure that it's beefy in the middle, and they're doing everything that they could to affect the timing of Mahomes, which they did. I mean, they ran a lot of pressures. They must have really been listening to the stream right before, because everything I suggested that they do, they did. It seems like right after I mentioned the fact that with Bernard McKinney, they needed to rush him, they were doing that. They were rushing corners. Mob Squad 1914, what's good? How do you think JJ did today? He did a pretty good job. He was chasing dudes down. He was stuffing the run. He was creating a lot of pressure. I understand, he really couldn't get there, and neither could Whitney Mercilus. But they were on his ass. They were on Mahomes all game. Man. And that's what we needed to see. That You was hating on Reid 2 weeks ago. Howard Sharpen, Lonnie and Mathieu fails. Looked like Brian Gain knew what he was doing all along. I mean, we'll see, man. I mean, don't get it twisted. We still got to play the rest of the season out. It's how many games left? It's 10 games left. We need to go ahead temper. We still need to temper our expectations, because it's still some teams that we got on the schedule that we got to beat in the NFC and in the AFC. I mean, I want us to beat everybody that we can, but this game does give me the confidence to say that there are a lot of other teams that we can definitely beat. Now, I really feel like we can definitely beat a team like Baltimore now. Like, no problem in Baltimore. I feel like because of what we did today with the Chiefs, I definitely feel like we can go to Baltimore and win. Tenny, footballer 503, what's good? The run game made all the difference. It made all of the difference. And the fact that, Deshaun Watson was extremely decisive. The O-line held up. He was getting the ball out quick. And we converted. I don't know how many third downs we converted. I know we converted well over 30 third downs. Like, we were going hard. Big Al, what's good, bro? I see you. Yeah, man, this was a great execution. It was a great game plan. The defense ended up holding up. They held. And I'm so glad. The best thing that Bill O'Brien did throughout this entire game, he had the nuts to say, Deshaun Watson is going to win us this game, and Kaimi Fairbairn, nah, we think we're going to end up having to replace you, bro. And the fact that when I saw Kaimi Fairbairn go to the sideline, because I just felt like he would have ended up missing that kick, and that was a pressure situation, and it would have gave the momentum to the Chiefs offense to go downfield and get some things done. And, hey, I'm not feeling it. Lamar Miller's gone. The fact that we can get a win like this with the Chiefs, and the fact that you had a guy like Carlos Hyde put this team on his back along with Deshaun Watson and what these receivers were able to do, you have to understand with this is the type of running game and how he's wanted his running backs to run since Arian Foster was here the first year. He's been wanting to run the ball similar to the way that he ran since he's got here. He wanted to have a guy who was very decisive, who was patient behind his runners, who could run dudes over and did not go down the very first time that somebody puts a hand on him. So I'm very cool with the Carlos Hyde. I had no problem with it when that move was made. I had no problem with the Duke Johnson move. Um, yeah, Miller's on IR. On IR, I forgot what his injury was. I believe it was ACL injury or something like that. So he'll be ready to go for some other team. If they choose to keep him on his football team, he cannot be the starting running back. If we do end up keeping this man, if we do keep him, I don't mind having him in third down situations where he can catch the ball or a situation like that. I feel like we can depend on him in that way, a similar way that we're using Duke Johnson. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Um, let's see. I mean, at least sign Miller to the practice squad, bro. You do not do that. You don't sign a player that's under contract to the practice squad. You don't do that. He's just on IR. We need other spots to fill for the roster in case dudes go down. You don't do shit like that. No Hyde is a one season wonder. He won't run hard forever. I mean, we don't know, bro. We don't know. Yeah, and I saw he don't have no ACL tear. Yeah, that's great news. There's no ACL tear. Duke should be a lifetime Texan. I mean, a lifetime Texan. He can't be a lifetime Texan if he wasn't drafted here. I'm just saying. Um, when do you think the addition of Tunsil changed his O-line? Definitely. Definitely. It most certainly did. Most certainly did. I mean, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Of course he has. The left tackle spot is solidified. I mean, there's still a lot of picks. I'm just going to have to wonder what O'Brien is going to do going forward and what he feels he needs to address. He definitely needs to address the pass rush still. I feel like if he gets another big D tackle, especially if we're going to continue to run this scheme, if we end up running more 4-3 and things like that, and we get a lot of space eaters, I really feel like this team can go back to another level the way that the 2016 defense was moving, and that's why the pass rush was able to get off the way that it was, especially against teams like New England. Sherman Hill was good. Staff Sergeant Reid was good. Yeah, everybody played a phenomenal game up front. I have no problem with nobody. You think Dwayne Brown will retire Texan? What do you mean? Yeah, I mean, most of the work that he did was here. Old buddy's dead and gone, so it's no reason to say that he wouldn't be a Texan. Unless he play, it doesn't matter. He could really be retired both places, but he's most known for what he was able to do with the Houston Texans for many, many years. He was good pretty much the entire team, the entire time he was here. He was drafted in, 2008? He got good like 2010 or so. So it only took him a couple of years from him moving, to tight end, to become a great left tackle in this league. And should Tunsil be the highest paid left tackle? Absolutely not. But I mean, more than likely that's going to end up happening by the time it's contract time for him, because that's part of the wages. But when it comes to the defense of this team, I really like the way that Cunningham, Reeder, and McKinney were playing. I even like the way that when they used Dylan Cole, I like the way he was being used. I really did. I really like the way he was being used, man. And I'm glad that the special teams of the Chiefs didn't get off against us, because I felt like it was a couple of times where guys were going to be able to find a couple of creases on kick and punt returns, and they weren't able to make anything shake. So that's a huge shout out. But a major negative were the drop passes from Hopkins and Will Fuller. Debo, what's good? Yeah, it don't make no sense that Will Fuller had the game that he had against a better secondary, player than Desmond Trufant. Like, he was killing this dude. And he comes in and but I can tell it got into his head early. He was in his head today. I don't think he'll end up having this issue, frequently after this game. But you can tell by those two drops that he dropped, it got in his head and he dropped everything until they shortened the game up. They started dumping into him front, and then he started to regain his confidence. But Deshaun never lost confidence in Will Fuller. He never lost confidence in any of his receiving options. He was just like, damn, like, you should have had that. And the fact that, it was hitting him right in the hands. And, yeah, he burned Tyrann. Yeah, he was burning them, but what good is him burning them if he don't catch the ball? that's the point the visionary was trying to make to me, about an hour or so ago when we were talking. I'm like, he brought up, Tyrann Mathieu getting burned and shit like that. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're not catching the ball. What's the point of getting past the dude if you're not going to catch the ball? So, I mean, that's a moot point to me. I mean, I understand, anybody who wants to make the argument that, and view that as a negative. I mean, that's your right. But for me, Tyrann Mathieu was nowhere near the reason that they lost the game. He didn't give up any points. He didn't give up no touchdowns. He made some solid hits, and he was everywhere on the field. It seemed like every play where a major tackle or something like that or a major stop was being made, he was there. So, I mean, people could say what they could say about Tyrann Mathieu, and that's your prerogative. I understand, he was here, he's no longer here, he's on the team, and he's saying that Mahomes is 1A and Deshaun Watson is 1B. I get it. I have no problem, no qualms with anything who feels some kind of way about Tyrann Mathieu. But as for me personally, I don't get emotional like that. What he did, I didn't even have a problem with. A lot of fans, y'all were emotional, and we addressed that when that situation happened. And I got into some arguments with some people that I really like and respect. And, it just goes to show what ways fandom can go when a player isn't up to snuff in a Houston Texans jersey. 713 Soup, what's good? The blitz throws that was making them was having something. And man, Hopkins was so great on third down. Like, if this game doesn't have him at like the top, he has to be like the best receiver on third down once again. But that's not really surprised me. But yeah, and Sherman Hill, yeah, I just addressed that. Like, for fantasy owners, if you played him, I mean, you still should have ended up getting like 10 points or something like that. I'm pretty sure, because DeAndre Hopkins ended up getting like 60-something yards and he had like 8 catches. The way that they do in fantasy football right now, it's a PPR, so that's 8 plus. So he very well got you 14 points. You can't really argue with that, depending on what your other options were able to do. But this was a game, man, that needed to be won. It was, once we came back and once Tayshaun Gibson interception happened and we scored, and then when we stopped him and we scored again, I knew then. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is they can't stop our offense. And the man right here in the thumbnail, he proved that when he scored his touchdown. Once he scored his touchdown, he flexed on the boys. He let it be known, bro, they can't mess with us, man. They not able to do it. And, what else can you ask for? You can't delete some other comment for being stupid, Trill. If it was a solid reason, I understand it, but it wasn't warranted for that. I don't know what's going on. Who is Brian Allen? Yeah, who is Brian Allen? I just seen a couple people typing about Brian Allen. Who is Brian Allen and what does he do? I hope we sign destroying. I don't know. I'm trying to find out who Brian Allen is myself. We need to put McCarron at hold the. Yeah, probably so, because anger is not a good holder of the football. When you go back and I looked at it, and Hector had ended up putting this in our sauce chat, and when he was spinning the ball, the laces weren't out, the laces were inside. So I immediately thought about Ray Finkel from Ace Ventura. If some of y'all are old enough to have seen that movie, it's a classic. If you haven't, it's probably one of the best movies Jim Carrey's ever been in. Alrighty then. But cornerback drafted by the Steelers, 6'4", 4'4", 4'4", 340. Okay, yeah, that's cool. But does he have ball skill? I mean, measurables are cool, but does he have ball skill? I don't care about measurables with no ball skill. Man, you're just a waste of talent. You're just a waste of physical talent. I say we give Kaimi one more week. Man, look, the placeholder, I can kind of put that on him, but regardless, that kick at that distance has to be made. It has to be made. Period. What do you think about the Colts game next week? Yeah, I know, man. I addressed that earlier in the stream. Not in this stream, but I addressed it when I was on with Honcho at Soft Sports. And because we have not beat this man, I do think we stand a taller test, especially if if we continue to play the way that we play, I see no way that the Colts are going to be able to get it, because they have issues in the secondary. Malik Hooker is hurt. Darius Leonard is hurt. The only way they can really hurt us is their front, and their front is capable of doing things. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that game. I'm gonna be looking at the injury reports and stuff like that very closely. I'm gonna be able to pump out some videos because I'm gonna be able to get off a lot early. I wasn't able to really do it because I was dead tired, working 12 hours a day. So I really couldn't pump out any videos until today because I had, I got off early enough yesterday, so I was able to do a live stream for y'all. But I'll definitely be doing some videos throughout the week. I might try to do some spread picks. I've been wanting to really do those, pick games. So if people like to bet on games, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick anywhere between 3 to 5 games. I'm going to talk about all of the games, but it's going to be like 3 to 5 games that, that should be sure bets so that you guys can get y'all some extra paper in your pocket. And if y'all want to, and I'm going to end up making a stream. I'm going to end up making a Patreon very soon. So if you guys want to give any donations or anything like that, I'll probably set up a PayPal specifically for that. So if you feel you guys want to donate, due to the things that I do for the channel to make sure that it gets a whole lot better, because I plan on getting me a computer very soon. Green screen, get the works, and I'm gonna be doing some work with Honcho to make sure that I bring you guys some fire content, and that's gonna get the ball rolling in the direction that I want it to be. I'm kind of tired of doing my videos from my phone, but it is what it is. You're still getting great quality, and so you're still getting great content, and I appreciate you guys coming through. But I'm gonna get ready to bring this this video to a close, man. It was great talking to you guys. I definitely want you guys to go ahead and get into the comment section. I will once this video posts, I will leave you guys a link to my Twitter, things like that in the description box. So if you guys aren't subscribed to everybody from Sauce Nation, go Sauce Sports, make sure you go do that. Ed Honcho spits the definition. He just dropped a video. If y'all haven't checked it out yet, make sure y'all guys go check that out as soon as you get done looking at this video. And you guys revel in the fact that we just went in Kansas City and we spanked the hell out of Patrick Mahomes and his football team. But it's your boy Third Coast Sports TV. Talk sports, love sports, enjoy sports. It's a great win. I'm finna revel in. I'm finna watch some more videos because I want to see some more reactions that people had, against this game. So I'm gonna catch you guys later.